It is 10:10 a.m. and I had one trade with GTII, and I feel like today's just not my day. There have been a lot of setups that actually work, but I didn't take them, and then this one that I did take didn't work out, and also with the previous few days. So I've been feeling a bit down, and I might actually take a step back and do some other work and focus on other things. But I do want to go over GTII. This one was a bit scary, and this could still be a setup if it breaks above 270, but maybe it needs to offer a dip before it tries to do something like that later, or if it does it now, it just might be a little scary because it hasn't had like a real drop since this move right here, and then it just keeps going up. So that could be something to take into consideration, especially because it looks like it might be trying to break a trend line. At least I see a trend line somewhat forming if you do something like this. So that could be a situation too where, it's more likely that it's going to drop soon and then maybe in theory offer a higher low and then it can try to perhaps get above that level. But I did try right here at 943. I bought just 50 shares right here at 249 and a half, and I was seeing it trade in this range and everything, and I was thinking that it was going to break above 250. And then best case scenario, we have like one of those crazy spikes this stock can do, and ideally break above the 260s, and then, the big number 270. I did get out of this one quickly. I traded it very carefully, maybe too carefully because I've just been thrown off with the way, I've been getting in setups like with TXTM the other day where I just got in at the very tippy top when it looked like it was going to break out, and then it just brings it all the way back down. So I did actually cut this one very quickly. I got out at 246, and then I hesitated right here, and it did do it. So that's part of the feelings that I've been having recently. So it kind of sucks, but at least the setup worked out, and I could have been a part of it perhaps. I was also looking at TXTM. It did have like a morning panic bounce play, and yeah, it did turn around. I also hesitated on this one because I had that trade the other day, and this setup right here absolutely failed. And of course, this one had a really nice spike. It got as high as 83 from 74 entries. So that's like I guess like a 14% move. Not the most volume, but it definitely made a move. And then I was also looking at this one is new. WSRC is something I've looked at before, but it hasn't had a move like this in a very long time. I was watching it and it did do like a dip towards VWAP for the most part, or like a mini bull flag, and this one actually worked out as well. It went from the 51s and right now it's in the 65s. A little bit scary because this one trades with a wider spread and it uptrends very quickly, because of that spread. So yeah, that's the situation for right now. Just a few setups that worked out, and then the one I did take, I didn't do it right then and there the way I wanted it to. I did it later, and I hesitated on that one. So yeah, I've been feeling pretty down, but that's part of trading, I guess. And I will be looking at a dip buy, perhaps if it looks like something I've seen before. I'll make an update later. It is 10:33 a.m. and I had another trade with GTII, and this one didn't really work out, but maybe I can try to do something later, just not right then and there at the moment. The nice thing with this one is that the previous day high was 270, as you can see, like right around here, 270, and then it's been uptrending. It did offer a dip. It wasn't that big of a dip, but it did do one, so I thought maybe, there could be less sellers because some of them were wiped out, and this small dip right here ideally would have dropped a VWAP, and then that would have been a dip buy setup, and then best case scenario keeps uptrending and get to this 270 level. I did buy 50 shares, and I should have had more shares because it's later in the day, 10:34. I should have had my worst case scenario at maybe 220, just rounding off a little bit right here. So I should have had more shares because as it gets later in the day, in my opinion, it's just less likely for it to go all the way to the day low than if you were to trade something in the morning, and it could easily break the day low and start to have a morning panic. That's the idea with that. And I did buy 50 shares at 271, and that was at 1025. So right here at 1025, this candle right here, I was in at 271 because it was breaking the 2.7 level, and I actually gave it a little bit of time. I wanted it to actually break 270. I didn't just want to buy it right when it looks like it's about to, and then it doesn't, because a bunch of more sellers show up at the ask or whatever, or people start dumping on the bid. I got in at 271, and it did uptrend, but when it got to 274, the ask was 275, and there was way too many sellers at 275 with size, and I didn't like that. I got out of it the next minute, 10:26, and I was at 274 and a half. So it's this doesn't happen very much, and if it ends up being this way, that's very rare, but it's definitely something that can happen. I might have two trades and be exactly break even on the day, like not by a penny. In fact, the time I got in and out of these setups is almost the same as well. So yeah, I'll be watching this to see what it can do, but I might actually again start to work on other things as well. And this one is nice. It kept uptrending. This one broke the 668 level. This one's crazy. I want to see if it can try to run tomorrow as well, or if it's just going to sell off tomorrow, or maybe even sell off later today. If it does something super clean, I might be interested in it, but there's a chance I might not trade this one at all, or really anything else, because I need to catch up on some work. I do feel better with this trade right here, even though it didn't really work out that much. I did try it at least. And yeah, I just need to get out of that muck that I was in previously and the way I've been feeling. But yeah, this one could have really worked out if it kept following the trend line. I'll make an update later. Alright, it is 7:30 p.m. and I'm here to call it off. Overall, I'm gonna be break even. I'm not gonna be up or down anything, but I happen to have two trades. They just both canceled each other out, and that was with GTII. And hopefully, maybe after the second trade with GTII, I can feel a little better and trade better tomorrow, God willing. And yeah, this was a setup right around here where it wasn't able to break above the level very consistently. It did do a bit of a dip, but it did continue to uptrend some more, and it got as high as the 290s, which is cool. Not something I really do. I like being in and out quickly. This is something that developed a bit later, and it did follow a trend line, but not as nice as it would to have been maybe if it did it right here, but still a very nice move. WSRC did offer that continued move, that bull flag, that dip towards VWAP. So I hope tomorrow I can be able to be a part of most of the setups that happen, and then, on top of that, be a part of the setups that actually work out. That's pretty much it for today. Hopefully I can do a lot better tomorrow. I think the bar is set low. That's all I have for today.